Yo! What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Zeta here, back at it again with part 2 for What If Naruto Made a Deal with Bill Cipher. Now, I know that the first part didn't exactly leave off on the most exciting part, but this part right here is going to be more or less filling in any little gaps and plot holes, and the next part after this is pretty much going to be all action. So if you guys are hyped for that, definitely make sure to hit the like button, as the like goal for this video is going to be, let's go for 300 likes, right? You guys smash 300 likes, you guys make my day, I make yours. All right, that said, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
Jumping back into part 2, we immediately kick off the story after Naruto just told Inari that he was a spoiled little brat. And about 2 weeks would go by, of Team 7 essentially just protecting the bridge builder and their family until eventually they end up finishing the bridge, and Gato and his men would inevitably end up arriving. Team 7 would handle the situation by simply killing each and every single one of Gato's men with ease, and Gato would end up actually having to simply watch as Tazuno just puts in the last nail to the bridge, pretty much calling it the Great Naruto Bridge. As Team 7 would finish their mission, they pretty much end up having no more other reasons to stay there. So they end up making their way back home, only to see Hiruzen and brief him on all the things that had happened on this mission that they just embarked on. After that, they end up all parting ways, only to be summoned later on in the day and told about the upcoming Chunin exams. And once Bill hears this, he tells Naruto that this is perfect. It's his chance to get into good graces with the Hokage. To, show off a little and hold back on killing people this one time. As Naruto just looks to Bill and says, "Alright, I'll do what you tell me then." And, he's just on his way to leave. But it's at this moment that Kakashi would actually stop Naruto and tell him that he's actually been meaning to talk to him for a while. Naruto would look towards the direction of Kakashi as he would raise an eyebrow and wonder exactly what there is to talk about. Kakashi would then look towards the direction of Naruto as he would take Naruto to Ichiraku Ramen Shop, which would make Naruto extremely happy. They're both going to his favorite place. And it's at this moment that Kakashi would begin telling him about what his parents were like and telling Naruto about how his mother and father were, and asking Naruto why he acts the way he does. Asking him why it seems like you pretty much took on a personality that isn't yours. Naruto would immediately begin being like, What are you talking about? And Kakashi just looks towards the direction of Naruto before telling him that it's so obvious. He's been in the ninja business for so long, he can tell when somebody's just putting up a front. And Naruto's entire personality just doesn't seem real. He feels as if he would have more of a mix of his father and mother's, if anything. Saying that his father was so outgoing and his mother, well, she was a piping hot, habanero. And Naruto looks towards the direction of Kakashi and says, "Why you call her that?" He just chuckles and says, "Oh, well, I used to be under her, and your father, he was the one who trained me." Naruto looks to Kakashi, and for a moment, he forgets about Bill. He then begins to essentially ask Kakashi questions about his mother and father and what they were like, and pretty much the old memory that he had of them pretty much just sacrificing him slowly dwindles away with Kakashi's revelation after revelations of him explaining to him the real reason why his father did what he did, saying that he most likely did what he did just because he wanted to keep the balance of power, because if one village doesn't have a tailed beast, then the other villages come attack. So if he didn't do that, pretty much the Leaf Village most likely would have died after that day. And Naruto finally understands his father, saying that, he actually did the right thing, seeming to think that Kakashi maybe isn't that bad of a guy, and maybe he mistook him, maybe he thought things were different. Kakashi looks to Naruto and asks him why it is that things always seem supernatural with him, asking him if he can communicate with the Nine Tails, which Naruto responds that he can't, that the Nine Tails is no longer even part of him. And Kakashi would be shocked because nobody was actually made aware of all this after all these years. People just thought that Naruto lied. So now Kakashi looks to Naruto and asks him why he's so far apart from the world, telling him that in this world, you get to make choices of what to do and what not to do. Maybe not everything's perfect in the beginning, but you get to choose what you do after that. Naruto looks at Kakashi, just kind of pondering that same question, and then looks back and he just says that, he's not really sure. But Kakashi suddenly just looks to him and says that he just needs people to be there for him, as he would smile and tell him that he's never alone with Team 7. They're his new family. And he tells Naruto to hold on to that and to never let go, because just like with real family, we don't get to choose our blood ties. So why should we get to choose this one? As he smiles to Naruto, and Naruto just looks down, thinking that that's true. He never had friends or family, but now he has people around him, so he better at least begin liking them at the very least. Looking to Naruto and leaving Naruto with this thought, as Bill would pretty much begin raging out and suddenly calming down at the thought of what he just said. Bill would suddenly come to the front of Naruto's mind, and that later that day, and Naruto would actually tell Bill that for now, he wants to try the Chunin exam on his own. See what can happen. Bill just says, whatever kid, just remember, the universe is a hologram. Yeah, I know, Bill. You've told me hundreds of times. I'll let you know if I need your help, which not likely since all these meatbags are pretty weak. He laughs and looks at Bill and tells him that he's his only true friend, as he goes off and rests and trains a bit on jutsu, which are all essentially easy. He masters all of it in a little under a day and is ready to fight extremely soon. The day eventually comes around and Naruto watches Sasuke begin to essentially be defeated and pretty much get his ass handed to him by Rock Lee. But at this moment that Lee begins to pretty much get the upper hand on Sasuke, Naruto thinks back to what Kakashi said to him about family. And so Naruto, his hair disappears, he puts on some shades and he just goes, family. I used to live my life a quarter of a mile. But basically, he just looks to Sasuke, as he pretty much, he does like this strange hand motion that coats Sasuke in this strange purple-like aura that pretty much boosts his power by 3 times to make sure that Sasuke wipes the floor with Lee. Now, Sasuke feels this sudden urge of power slightly, but he's able to keep up with Lee, and Lee will then go on to essentially try to take his weight. But Sasuke lands a kick that sends him hurtling to the ground, and Guy would catch Lee, telling him that he's crazy for what he was about to do to reveal his trump card. As, Sasuke looks back to Lee and says, I beat you. Not much of an opponent now, are you? As Guy just goes on to pretty much do his own interaction and essentially tell Team 7 that he is Kakashi's eternal rival of youth. As, they all look at him and they're like, oh, cool, dude. Like, we didn't ask, but that's cool. And suddenly Mike Guy just looks at them and says, right, just a little heads up. I'm stronger than Kakashi. Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura would all be shocked immediately. And they would all essentially begin walking towards the place of the exam. Naruto, once they begin walking towards that direction, would essentially go on to pretty much stop time for just a moment, looking to Sakura and unfreezing her. As she looks at Naruto and says, did I do anything wrong? She's clearly shaken up by Naruto and her being one-on-one in this dominion once again. But Naruto would simply look to Sakura and tell her not to worry, that he's sorry for what he did to her back in the academy, and that he promises he'll never do anything like that unless he truly forces him to. Sakura looks to Naruto and sees a little bit of genuine expression on Naruto's face, as she's like, oh, well, thanks, Naruto. I didn't expect that from you. As Naruto looks at Sakura and says, yeah, I'm not a monster. He then pretty much winds time back to normal and says not to say anything, as Sakura doesn't, and they continue on with the exam, going on to take the written portion, as Naruto doesn't actually end up being vocal about not giving up and giving other participants an encouragement or a boost of morale, you know what I mean? So instead, the only thing that truly ends up going down is Naruto just goes into the exam guns blazing, and essentially once he's in the forest of death, and Orochimaru would end up arriving on the scene only to try to tear terrorize Team 7, Naruto seeing this would think back to the words of Kakashi once more and think that he has to protect this team. This is his new family and it's all he has. So Naruto immediately just decides that he's going to do his best out here. He immediately goes on to blitz towards the direction of Orochimaru, take a sword out that he would pretty much pull out of nowhere like Deadpool, and slice at the direction of Orochimaru, who would counter with the Kusanagi blade, saying that Naruto is a bit fast for his age. Naruto then waves one hand sign and says, water style, Dominion Jutsu, right? As you know, he just shoots this gigantic tsunami-like wave of water that completely covers Orochimaru, before Naruto then weaves another hand sign and says, lightning style, lightning purge jutsu, sticking his hand into this like sea of water that he just trapped Orochimaru in, and pretty much shocking him, until eventually Naruto then uses a wind style, like a tornado type wind style, right? That pretty much ends up like making a lightning water tornado, right? And pretty much catches Orochimaru until it throws him off to the distance, and he goes flying Team Rocket style. Sasuke looks to Naruto as he just says, well, thanks, you definitely saved us there. Naruto looks back to Sasuke and says, don't mention it, but you would have done the same thing for me if I was in your shoes. Sasuke says, right, Naruto, as they continue on with their mission, only to eventually be encountered by this Sound Genin. Now, once the Sound Genin arrive, Naruto realizes that it's about time he lets Sasuke shine. So he secretly, ups Sasuke's power by 2, and Sasuke would rush in so fast that these sound-based attacks simply just couldn't touch Sasuke. I mean, the dude was on a completely different level, so these attacks were pretty much as fodder as it gets to Sasuke. Sasuke would lunge in, throwing a sweep kick at one of the directions of Dosu, and Dosu would fall to the ground before Sasuke lunges down at him and holds a kunai to his throat, looking up at the direction of the rest of the Sound Genin and telling them that unless they want their little captain dead, they better stand down now. Immediately, Sakura would hold one kunai out, and Naruto looks towards the direction of the other guy, which got his arms broken in the original, telling him that he better listen to what his little captain here is saying. As he twists 2 of his fingers in the back, and he immediately makes the guy that got his arms broken, he makes his arms pretty much go behind his back, as Naruto then picks him up with telekinesis and essentially makes him begin to choke himself Star Wars style. As he then looks to the girl and says, so what's it gonna be, the scroll or their lives? And she immediately freaks out, wondering what that even is, how they're even doing what it is they're doing, right? Naruto looks towards the direction of her and just tells her not to worry about anything, that she can just get lost and live to see another day. Their teammates, however, they're in for a horrible, horrible day. Naruto looks back towards the direction of Sasuke, and Sasuke pretty much ended up piercing the kunai down as Naruto closed his fist and killed the Sound Genin. He looks towards Sasuke and tells him that he made the right choice, as Naruto goes on to essentially grab the scroll and head towards the direction of the tower along with Team 7. Naruto slowly beginning to get bonds. Things are kind of awkward. I know that the way that I'm portraying things, it doesn't really seem that way, but kind of just picture that you just had an argument with your parents and you're kind of just trying to get things to go back to normal is essentially kind of how everything's being. Sakura slowly starting to let up to Naruto. Naruto starting to try to show Sasuke that he's, he doesn't feel superior to him, and trying to show him that, they're on equal footing, right? Sasuke doesn't exactly quite believe it, knowing that Naruto's the strongest, but since Naruto's able to give leadership role to Sasuke, Sasuke feels good enough with that, right? But they end up making their way towards the tower, and once they are at the tower, essentially the only thing that ends up happening is they end up meeting up with Kakashi and Iruka Sensei, who explain what had just happened and what the Chunin exam portion that they just took was for. Eventually, they're then briefed about the said fact that they have to take preliminary battles, and essentially what would happen is once the battles would be announced and Naruto would be told that he's going to be facing off against Kiba, Naruto looks towards the direction of Kiba as he has a smile on his face. Now, Kiba looks back to Naruto and he has a little bit of a different thought process to this, thinking that he can impress Hinata, beat the top dog of the academy all in one day? this is a bargain sale. Kiba, it's his lucky day. You know, that's just what Kiba's thinking, right? He's like, I can't wait to defeat Naruto. Like, I'm gonna show everybody that I'm the strongest and I'm gonna be Hokage. You know what I mean? Like, Kiba's just having an inner monologue. The dude's pretty much just like creaming everywhere inside his pants as he looks towards his dog and just goes, come on, Akamaru, let's go hit him with the fang over fang. You know, they rush at the direction of Naruto. Naruto holds one hand out and immediately pushes the both of them back, separating them, eventually going on to pretty much switch their personalities, where Kiba's trapped in the body of, Akamaru, and Akamaru's trapped in the body of Kiba. Now, they both would look back to each other as Akamaru would just begin barking, being like, "Wow!" Like internally being like, "What happened?" And Akamaru begins to essentially start speaking, asking, what's going on. And suddenly, we basically have Naruto lunging in at both of them and punching them one good time across the face as they're both sent flying. And they eventually have to end up trying to fight Naruto in this strange state where they have to try to be like each other. They try to do the fang over fang attack, but it just doesn't work because they've never tried it this way. And when, Kiba uses the beach transformation jutsu that Akamaru would usually use, he kind of is able to move around better, seeing as he's not in the body of a dog. Eventually, they use the attack once more, and Naruto, in Luffy-like fashion, or if you haven't seen One Piece, he essentially just lifts both arms up as he then slams them down to the ground, and both of them, with their fang over fang states, will just get slammed to the ground. And Naruto just looks up at them and goes, pitiful. Well, I'll see you guys next time.